Hey, we're out fishing again. Come down a little private lake. I've only got 24 hours, but I wasn't going to film. I'm feeling pretty confident, I'm not going to lie. Jumped in a swim. There's some lilies in front of me. It's got a post and I'm seeing the post knock. I've seen a couple of fish show to the left, so I quickly got the rods out. It's getting late again now. I turned up late. Not long got the rods out, about 7 o'clock now. So we'll see what happens. But the lake has changed so much since the last time I come here in that short period of time. So much weeds growing on one side of the lake, literally touching the surface. So that's why I chose to come around this end. I found a nice gravel bar, an open water, and the other rod I'm fishing up to the pads. Hopefully we'll do a bite. I'll show you around so you can see. There's obviously a top end where I am. You can see the weed on the other side. And all down that end. But that doesn't bother me. So, yeah. I've got the Ronnie rigs on. Pink spicy fish pop-ups again. So I've done the trick last time, so it's silly not to put them on. So yeah, got them straight out. Hopefully we have a fish. But I'm going to get some food on, and I don't know, it's getting late now. Probably get into the bivvy. Oh yeah, I've got a new bivvy. I'll show you that. Bad boy, our Aqua 150. Big old bit of kit that is. I'm not sure if that's a bit too big, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't think you could possibly get a better looking bivvy, but it is a unit. I should have got the smaller one, I reckon. But we live and learn. I'm sure there'll be someone that wants to buy it. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna get some food on, watch the water. See if we can't catch a fish. If I have something, I'll check in. If not, I'll see you in the morning. Well, there we go. Absolute beast of a mirror. £21 exactly, but it's absolutely stunning. I hope the light is doing it justice. Absolutely mega fish. I can't believe how dark these fish look. Mega fish. Absolutely screamed off as well. I'll show you the other side. Epic battle. It's about 4 in the morning right now. Absolutely got me locked up solid in weed. If I'm honest, I thought it was gone, but I got it to the net. There was a massive ball of weed and she was in it. Look at the scales. Oh, that is a ridiculous fish. Absolutely mega carp. Happy days. Get some photos and get her back. Morning. Well, went well last night. As you can see, that fish was absolutely epic. And geez, didn't put up a fight. Absolutely beasted me. One toner, straight off. Barnet is a state. Yeah, straight off. Picked up into it and that was just stripping. And it got me into a weed bed. And that was a weed bed like you've never seen in your life. I'll show you in a minute because it's half on the bank, half still in the lake. But it got me beasted up in there and I could feel the fish on the other end. It was like I was just pulling back a slab, so I knew it was in weed. And when I got it in close, all I could see was the weed, and I've scooped the weed into the net, and I'm pulling the weed in, and the line's actually gone through the weed, and the fish is still out in the water. I was thinking, oh god, what am I going to do here? So I'm trying to get it all out the net, and fish is just pulling off again, absolutely stripping me, and managed to get it back. And it was a weird one, because when I could see the fish, say this is the fish, the weed was like up here, so it was the fish was coming out, the line was going through and the fish was here, and every time I kept pulling close, that was pulling the weed close to the fish, and then it would strip again. And I must have been doing that for 5 minutes close in, and in the end I just threw the rod on the floor and just like side scooped the fish into the net, and yeah, happy days, she was in there. And that was a cracking looking fish. They do put up a hell of a fight, and if I'm honest, I'm surprised I actually didn't catch more, because last night when I put the rigs out, I'd seen a couple show to the left of the pads, which is where I caught that one, and I'd seen a few to the right side of the pads, and there's like a scaffolding pole in the middle of them pads, and that was continuously knocking, so there was obviously fish there. So yeah, I'm surprised I didn't catch any more, but maybe them pads is quite deep there, I don't know, maybe 10 foot where I'm fishing out into the middle, and so if I'm going across to the pads, there's a big bar there and ain't very deep at all, and that's where obviously where I've had to run. But one of the reasons why I sort of came up here, because it is getting a bit chilly on a night time, and in my head I did think maybe the fish, they'd be down in that shallower bit during the day and where all the weed is, and on a night time sort of come up here, but I don't know, I'm just a bit surprised I didn't catch any more, to be honest. But yeah, let me show you this weed. That's what she was in, and that's obviously out. Go look at the size of it. That's still going into the water. Absolutely beasted me. But that's what we go carp fishing for. Moments like that. That was a hairy one. But yeah, I'm going to drink my coffee, bring the rods in, redo them, and I'll show you the rigs and the bait in a second. Well, here we go. I've just put on a new pop-up before I show you the rig. Same again, simple stuff. Tubing, lead clip, and Ronnie rig. I've got on there the pink spicy fish, urban baits, pop up again with the goo on it as well, and the curve point. Move that bead around. Curve point, barbless hook, and that was absolutely nailed, that first fish. And I've upped the size to a 4-ounce dumpy pair, just because I'm not fishing very far out, and we're using barbless hooks, so in my eyes, once it picks it up and goes away, there's more weight there to get that hook set. I would usually use a 3 ounce, but as I said, short distance, so I've got upped it to a 4-ounce. It definitely worked. That fish was never ever coming off. It was absolutely nailed. So we're gonna get this one out. But yeah, as well, the line as well. I'm using the Thinking Anglers line, and I'm glad I am, because I think some people nowadays get mistaken of what line actually is. And although I wouldn't say the Thinking Anglers line is a big casting line, it's a very strong line. You can still hit good range with it, and I think a lot of people go, or a lot of lines now are made for long distance casting, which you're losing some of the good properties in line, which is the strength and stuff like that, because the amount of weed I brought in, I'm almost 100% sure if I was using any other line, I reckon I'd have probably got snapped off. I honestly don't think I'd have got that in. So everything I've stepped up a little bit, all the rig mechanics is Thinking Anglers, and that's what's doing the business. So let's get this rod out. let's see what's on the menu today for bait. This is something different to what I used last time. All the same sort of stuff has gone in there, but I've made up a little bit different. So because it's catapult only here, you can't use bait boat, you can't spawn, you can use a throwing stick or a catapult. So you want your bait to be dry. So if you're adding liquid, stuff like that, leave the tub open, leave it outside, leave it to dry out. So that's going to dry the boilie out, because if you add liquid and you leave it and not let it dry out, you'll turn up at the lake, you'll stick it in the catapult, and you'll find when you're catapulting out, it will stick inside the catapult and you're just left with bait everywhere in the swim, because it will not go to where you want it to go. That's something I've done many times, just so like, I just imagine everybody else has. So I've learned from it. I know if I'm somewhere where I'm using a catapult, I always leave the bait to dry. So what I've done this time is I've got the nutcracker boilies, 15mm. As you can see, there's a lot of dust particle in there, which is the stick mix from Urban Baits, which I've got nutcracker and the red spicy fish in there, and I've put liver liquid in and a bit of nutcracker glug as well. And with the idea with the powder is, if you munch it up in your hand, it almost goes like a paste. It's sticky, but it's dry. It's not sticking to my hands or anything. So you're getting a lot of particle. It's easy enough to catapult out, but you're getting a lot of food particle in where you're fishing as well. And I think personally that's a game changer. I think that's worked absolute wonders. I like the idea of it. Something I will do every time here is use this same tactic, and it's what's doing the do. Something new I've tried, it's worked, I've had a fish, so hopefully we can have another one. I am actually due off today. Like I said, we're only going to do 24 hours. I'm very busy, sort of the end of today. I've got things to do, and at the weekend I'm very busy again. So I think after the weekend I may be able to get another 24 hours in. But yeah, as I said, it's only a 24 hours, so it's going to be a short video. But I'm going to catapult some more bait out and see if we can catch another one before we go. Catapult the bait out, as I said, nice little ball there, paste some boilies in it as well. It's that simple. Catapults out lovely every time. Something about catapult fishing I just really like, I don't know why. So I was just having a conversation with someone. I thought I would share the conversation with you. And it went along the lines of funny things about carp fishing. And what's funny about it. Me being blatant, I was like, well, after 6 months of carp fishing, you suddenly become a carp. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, if you go fishing for 6 months, you suddenly become a carp. He says, yeah. I said, you know what bait they eat? That only eats fish meal, that only eats nutty bait, that only gets caught off the back of the wind, yeah, only has this liquid in its bait, only gets caught on big winds, only gets caught on a full moon. I want to see what you guys say about it, because I do find it quite hilarious, to be perfectly honest. That yeah, I mean, some things I believe, some things are hilarious when it comes to carp fishing. Only eats nut bait, only eats fish meal, only gets caught on this one spot. Well, the last time it got caught, it was caught on a nut bait, and the time before that it was caught on a nut bait. Well, what about the 6 times before that when it was caught on a fish meal? What about the time when it got caught down the other end of the lake, and not this only spot that you said it gets caught on? What about the time when it got caught on the back of the wind and not on the wind? We suddenly become carp. We think we know everything about carp. I want to see your opinion on it. Get in the comments. That's it, unfortunately. My time here at this little private lake in Norfolk is done. We had a fish. That's what we come for. So we succeeded. But hopefully I can get out next week and might come down here for a couple of days. If not, I might go to Billingford. I fancy a bit of Billingford. So yeah, till next time, be lucky.